All right, guys, welcome back to the Sayin Society. You have myself, Jachik, Justman, and Jagad. This is our weekly anime and manga discussion, episode 80.
Yeah.
Crazy. 80.
And it's kind of a sad day, one of the mangas that we started with.
It's almost
Episode
done.
1.
It's done, actually.
Now we're
done.
at episode 80. It's done.
Yeah, it's almost done, but
It's done.
I mean,
Okay, so we're going to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. Possibly with some One Piece stuff, some My
Talk
Hero
about your
stuff.
Transformers, bro.
we'll talk about some things.
Yeah, and then...
Jachik
Actually,
got
okay, before
no
we
time
do,
out. Jachik got very sad at us because the last podcast. It was
100%.
sad and mad
100%.
and aggressive, and he beat the shit out of Jagad. But like,
yeah,
we won't talk
that's why I'm
about
fully
that in
clothed
GTA.
right now.
What?
Oh, what? I thought I was hiding my bruises.
Oh, he's hiding bruises. In GTA. Yeah,
You know, hold on,
we're gonna
yeah.
talk about.
You know what's crazy? Last pod, bro, your feet came up like this. Put some fucking socks on.
See,
Yo,
Yo, nobody wants to see your fucking dog.
all because
Hey,
we talked
man.
about Transformers. This right here, all because we talked about Transformers one without Jachik. He is.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Did you have anything to add? Did you watch our pod last?
I was in the
Right?
middle of watching it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And?
And what do you mean?
Transformers.
He's still angry.
I'm not there yet.
He's still angry.
Transformers was at the end.
But
it was at the
what
end.
what do you have to say about the movie?
I don't know what you guys said. So
Just talk.
No,
about
just
it,
talk
brother.
about like what you
we're just
thought.
gonna talk about the movie now. We're not gonna talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about everything else after.
Okay. All right. I don't know what you said. You're probably like, yeah, it was a solid movie. Did this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Fight choreography.
Yeah.
That's all you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And?
And then what did you say about like the character designs and stuff?
Oh yeah, I fucked with them.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about.
You
I didn't
really
touch
talk
on
about
that. I didn't want. I just gave like a brief overview. Like I didn't want to.
You don't want you to too mad.
I didn't want to
you know?
ruin the movie, so I didn't even
Yeah.
talk about who like the villain was or
Oh,
like
you didn't talk about anything?
I didn't really like go deep into like
Yeah,
shit like
yeah,
that. I just
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of talked about like just generally like it's just like the whole progression of because everyone knows Megatron and Optimus like
Yeah.
it's like a story centered around them and
Right,
then
right,
becoming who they are. So I
Mhm.
kind of just talked about that. I didn't want to ruin anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He like in comparison to the like live action films, the animated portrayal, Megatron is less evil.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the live action, he's just out here killing people just to kill people,
Yeah.
Mm.
right? Whereas
It's also a
in-
different context though.
It is
Because
it
live
is.
action, like they're on Earth,
Yeah, I know.
so it's
they-
like he doesn't.
different
Even, all he
beings.
cares about is like, Cybertronians.
I mean,
so-
but he rips Jazz in half.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, obviously, like he has beef with the Autobots, but it's
Yeah.
like that's like so much further. Like when you think about that, like that's after they've gone through like wars on Cybertron. Cybertron like basically died and they dipped, and now they're on Earth. So like he has like years and years of trauma. like bro's fucking like he's kind of just like at this point like I'm killing y'all motherfuckers.
But then other people have trauma on the other side too, and they're not doing the same shit.
That's Autobots.
That's Autobots.
Like-
That's good and bad.
That's why they're the good guys.
That's good and bad, bro.
Like, that's why they're the good guys, dog. But he did do it in the movie though.
What?
He ripped that dude in half.
Which dude?
You know that one with
Like,
Optimus? He grabbed the guy.
main guy, the main bad guy. He ripped him in half.
Oh, does
Megatron
he?
rips him in half
Oh.
at the end.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
full
okay.
fucking power pose.
Oh
dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does.
Damn, he already forgot the movie. He
I
got
did,
mad at
I
us
did.
for what?
We're watching it again, running it by.
Get your toes out now.
No, so basically, what I wanted to talk about with the movie is like, so it was a $75 million budget.
Okay.
Mhm.
Last time, I'm correcting it now. I said that they made 95 mil in the first day, but they made 9.5 mil,
Yeah,
right?
that's domestic though.
They made 9.5 mil the first day.
Yeah.
Where they're at now, they're at 72 mil. They're
Oh.
they're 3 mil shy. Like this is the latest report, which would have been like maybe like a day ago, 2 days ago.
So-
So they're 3 mil away from breaking even.
Yeah.
No, that's domestic. So they're tracking to make around 145 at the end of their run in the box office worldwide.
Yeah.
Worldwide, I believe. But I think their dates for worldwide release were also so sporadic.
Yeah,
Like they weren't
yeah.
like very consistent.
So that's kind of
So-
fucking with it too.
Yeah. So I think they'll reach that 145, which will put them potentially at like a good place, depending
Yeah.
on how much their marketing budget was.
I think so. Their marketing was shit.
Yeah.
So I feel like their budget, like they really didn't do much.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know. The marketing wasn't that shit.
Dude, Well, for one, they released the movie during during the school year.
That's true.
How many
An
kids are actually
animated
going to watch
movie.
it when you could have released it during the summer? It sound like the way you watch the movie, it feels like a nice, fun summer movie.
Yeah, you take your kids
Like
to or something.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's in the middle of the school year, so it's kind of rough for that.
Middle school year just started.
Yeah, but it's like end of September area.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's like the beginning of September.
I think the idea is
And,
you
like-
can't just take your kids like whenever
Yeah.
if you want. So it kind of limits
It
the
depends,
schedule.
right?
Because like what the movie's rated what like
I think it's PG. It's
It's
very
probably
PG
for
because they cut
kids,
cut
right?
things off, so it's for
yeah,
kids.
it's probably
They
They
for
don't
kids.
they don't even swear and stuff.
So
it's like
yeah,
it's
they,
definitely
they,
like
they,
family.
their alignment
they-
was probably
they
for
swear,
parents to
sorry.
take like kids to the movies, and if you have the school year affecting that, where kids
Yeah.
are like away all day,
Yeah.
and they come home, they have to like probably do homework and shit.
Yeah,
They
it's like a
swear,
weekend
or
thing.
Like, they
whatever,
swear,
yeah.
but they swear in like Transformers fashion.
Yeah.
Like, cause like for example, instead of saying like
He does.
no, he's like, oh, why being such a glitch?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like they don't
like-
actually swear though. Like
yeah.
he's
'Cause
like
it
at one
makes
point
sense.
he's
Yeah,
about to
yeah.
stick up the middle finger and they cut it. Like he's like, I'm gonna tell you which finger I'm gonna put up, and then like as he's like trying to put it up, they cut to the other dude.
Right, but
So-
it's kind of like those are like
Adults will catch it, kids won't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also if they're an alien race, they wouldn't have the same sort of dialogue and like you know,
Yeah.
swear words that we would have because their concepts of shit is different.
Yeah.
You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Yeah.
Well, they're cars,
Yeah.
Transformers,
but they transform into
Yeah.
what?
not cars.
Tanks.
Multiple
Guns.
things, so many things.
But like that's like a earthly thing.
It's all
you
earth.
could
It's all
say.
grounded into earthly shit, regardless. Like at one
Yeah.
point. Anyways,
Sorry.
yeah, but like everyone on Twitter just been going crazy because like it's such a good movie, but like people aren't really going to watch the movie,
Yeah,
and that's gonna hurt its box office run. And like if it
100%.
doesn't perform, like we probably might not get like a trilogy out of it.
that's so shitty. 'Cause
Yeah.
the second movie would be insane. Like a War for Cybertron
Yeah,
would be crazy.
Even the third one, Fall for Cybertron,
yeah,
like it
yeah.
probably just work. You just take the concepts from the games and stuff and just kind of go like.
Mhm.
Either way, like it'd just be sick to have like a full animated trilogy, and then just end it there. They don't have to go into like the whole Earth aspect of it because they do have like the live action shit happening anyways.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
like that's why I want to go watch it tomorrow.
Again.
He's gonna carry the box
Dude,
office
no, 'cause,
numbers
okay, also-
himself.
No, because
He's gonna make sure it tracks to 200.
I was
mil.
having a conversation and I was like, there's only been like a handful of movies that like as I left the theater I was like I want to watch it again,
Right.
and Transformers was one of them.
Is this your number one?
You'll find out end
He
of the
kind
year.
of smiled. He kind of smirked.
You'll find out end of the year.
You see that
You think
shit?
this year or in general?
Just what do you mean?
Like movies that you've watched and you're like need to watch it again.
Just in general.
In general.
It's only happened a handful of times, like Oppenheimer, like the Batman. Like there's only been a
Dune.
Dune 2, yeah. Where it's like
Spider-Man,
we're like which one?
like into the multiverse or whatever.
Across the
Yeah,
Spider-Verse?
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there. No, I don't remember exactly if I actually like
Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League.
It wasn't in theaters.
you already know I ran that shit back. You already
It
know.
wasn't in theaters
already know
though.
I ran
But the
that
fact
shit
that the guy
He
fucking
ran it
put-
back
the
at-
guy fucking was putting in 16-hour shifts.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy. You know, I wasn't going to work or anything. He was fucking watching this movie. Fucking 4 hours. He was running back.
Yo.
Just toes out, running
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those movies. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I'm not gonna say no, but like that's a handful of movies, you know.
Godzilla.
No, Godzilla's sick, but I
Iron
didn't.
Claw.
Huh? No.
Dude, Iron Claw was like.
No, like those movies are sick, but there's like
Fucking
there's a
awesome.
difference of like you know. As soon as I left the theater, I was like, I need to go back and watch it.
Jugs
Again.
was going in disguise to
Yeah.
go watch Barbie every other weekend
Nah,
when Barbie was on theaters. He's lying. He was in
I
disguise.
wouldn't do that. Barbie wasn't.
I
there yet.
followed him.
You followed me. You watched me
He
watch
watched the- he
Barbie.
I watched you.
He watched you watch the movie.
Yeah.
You bought the ticket. It'd be four down from me.
Yeah.
But you didn't even watch the movie. You just
I
watched
got
it
my
with me. You're
disguise
like,
on too. I'm just staring
Yeah.
at you.
Real.
All right. Anyways, let's talk about some JJK.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, bro.
So I actually like the ending. I think he kind of like he did kind of stick the landing there. Right here, that last.
There's been
Explain.
a lot of discourse.
Okay,
Explain.
so mainly because of the interaction we got between Sukuna and Mahito.
Mahito, yeah, that.
I think that like just rounded out Sukuna's character really well, and like he's such a strong character from beginning to end that like I'm happy that he didn't turn into like we talked about like envy or like what's that guy named Michael Jackson from
Oh.
Demon Slayer. Like
Yeah.
you know, like all these like like the tropes of them just turning to shit and then like bitching out and then just like whatever. Him like not going that way from when like Yuji had that conversation, like, oh, I can save you if you just like, he's like, nah. And then after when Mahito talks to him, he's like, yo, like maybe like it's so like profound in the way that he's thinking back. He's like, yo, I had 2 other chances. I could have gone, so like my life could have gone a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And even like the girls, like it's Urame and like I don't know who the
I
other
don't know
girl
who
is.
the other one is either.
Is it not your user?
So that's what I thought. I was like, maybe it's your fuck.
Your-
Whatever.
your-
That chick.
your-
Maybe it's her. Maybe it's like this girl that he liked, or maybe it's like people were saying that maybe it's his mom.
Yeah.
Either way, the way I saw it, because it's like a symbolic representation, I just assumed that was like love,
The tooth paths.
like going towards love.
Yeah.
That was a path that he never like thought of or whatever. And like when we watched or when we read like the fan translation, right? Urame's side, like when he's having this conversation, Mahito says it like, yo, you lived your life because you wanted to get revenge because of this wretched like what they said about like this girl.
Yeah.
It makes it seem like it's because of what happened to Urame or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the actual translation, it's like, oh no, like you wanted revenge against how they treated you.
Yeah.
So like it's like totally different concept because you're like, why did Sukuna care so much about like Urame? Like what's happening there? Like we don't even get any like their relationship doesn't seem like it's one of those relationships. So I'm happy like the actual translations like fix that.
Fixed it.
But in the actual translation, it makes it seem like there was actually 3 paths, like the path he took, and then the 2 other paths that he could have taken. So
Yeah.
and
That's
then,
how I
like,
viewed it too.
and it allows you to just like see what the high like if there's a Heian era like side story that happens,
Like,
we'll probably get to see like those points in time where like those paths like he could have taken them and then he went against it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked
Right.
seeing how Mahito's like, yo, are we not gonna fucking do some shit? Like, are we
Yeah.
not gonna run this shit back? And he's like, nah.
So
I
It's like,
lost.
So that's the other thing is like
and I was like, damn. Like, he actually, like, his entire ideology
Yeah.
just was, like, on the fact that he never lost.
Lost.
and now that he
And
lost,
then
it
now that he
changed.
lost,
Yeah.
He's like, I don't give a fuck.
And
I
then
lost.
also with Mahito, because he's like a curse that's like created from humans.
Yeah.
It's so like fitting that he can't accept like defeat, like that he can't accept that like just let go,
Mhm.
and like he's good because he's a recurring curse, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's gonna come back, and like that's why he's sitting there still because he just can't let go of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's like the cherry on the top for me. Like I was like, that's so sick with like both Sukuna's character and Mahito's character, and then like obviously we had like the first half of the chapter that was just like
the
this mission, and the
yeah.
mission was just whatever it was.
Yeah.
But like that was obviously meant there for that one scene with Yuji being like, hey, like I want to see you grow and get and like kind of parallel with Gojo.
Like
Right.
Yuji's
That was the whole
kind
point
of
of
taking
that.
the role of being like
But,
Gojo or
like,
Yeah.
The
whatever.
thing is, like, Gojo's like, yo, you guys are gonna go beyond me.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anyone go beyond him.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, that's what.
I think the thing is though, like they might not have gone just yet, but like they're set up
To do
Yeah.
to go beyond
because
him.
especially Yuji, because this
Yeah.
guy literally at the end of that fight reached like easily special
Yeah,
grade.
yeah, that's true.
And he's
Yeah.
still like only 6 months into his like Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh,
Yeah, the pacing is fucked.
Yeah, that's
The
fucked,
pacing is
actually.
fucked.
But we also never got like a reveal for his domain, like what it's called.
What it's called?
name of
Yeah,
it.
no, we
There are
didn't.
still those issues that like didn't get resolved.
I mean, those things are like the domain stuff. I feel like you like the fan books.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Takaba and Kenjaku?
So-
being
That- I
alive?
don't
So
know.
well, I
Yeah,
had
like,
that.
none of that was
Well,
addressed.
I had
That's-
that explanation for the Rika thing, right? But like,
What Rika? Thing?
did
Not
we
like
talk about it?
Kenjaku's like his Rika.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't
Like-
explain why Takaba's alive though.
I saw the scan again, and it literally just looks like Takaba like did that as a gag of like I'm gonna
Maybe,
like
yeah.
like he literally like went into like this little coffin thing just like he's just pretending to die because he's like whatever, right? Because he lost in that like comedy
Yeah,
match,
but-
right?
yeah.
Right.
So then
but
like
but then it's like,
it's just an issue of like why didn't he pull up on Sukuna if he wasn't actually dead?
and
And that's
also,
all. That's really the issue. There.
but also him dying is what led to like the Utah's like what's it called? It gave Utah the opportunity to cut off his head.
Him dying?
Yeah, like that whole thing with Takaba and Kenjaku allowed Utah to get
Maybe.
the jump on
Assuming
Kenjaku.
that was
So
like
then
him.
it was like if Takaba wasn't dead.
No, but
Like,
that
let's say in the scenario Takaba wasn't dead. How does Kenjaku not sense cursed
Well-
energy with
well-
him and see that he's still alive?
no, because with
Well,
with
Totoro-
Takaba's domain,
yeah, I
we're
guess.
assuming that it was tied to his life, but that could also have because obviously they said like yo, you can't tell Takaba that he has like these powers, like he's like
yeah, he's unaware.
right, he's unaware. So then like for him, just the fact that he lost to Kenjaku could have been like, now I can't open my domain anymore. The fact that he lost in like a comedy, like, what is it called? Like a fucking versus
Right,
battle.
but his curse energy's still there.
Well, it depends. Like, but even if like after his, like once the domain's gone, that's when Yuta pulled up and cut him off. So it doesn't even matter.
No, it's once like he did the whole like death pose.
Yeah.
And then after that, he's like, yo, but he's dead, and then he gets the drop on him, right? So it's like Kenjaku's like this fucking smart, calculating, methodical fucking.
Hey, bro. We already know they fumbled Kenjaku's
Yeah,
character.
we know
But you
that.
know what I mean?
Yeah, but
like it's like what the fuck happened
no,
there?
no, but
it just comes back to the whole
Talk
fucking
about-
like
okay,
why
but-
the fuck did he beat Yuki?
okay,
Yuki should have beat his
yeah,
ass.
he's
Like,
hurt.
what the
He's
fuck,
hurt. No, but
He's right.
yo,
though.
talk about being dead or
should've been
alive though
Yuki.
doesn't change like what happened in that scenario. Right.
I think he's right.
there's
though,
just a
that
lack.
Yuki
There's a
should've
lack
beat
of
him.
explanation there.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
So like and like maybe like he could have had narrator boxes to like
yeah.
explain what happened. So who knows? Like maybe he'll like odds he'll fix that in one of the volumes. Like
Well, I mean,
because I don't know how far volume 28 goes. Like 29 and
I
30
think
are
29 and 30 are the last one that are coming out December 25th.
yeah. So but like what does that span from? Like what chapters does that span from?
I don't.
Because I doubt that's all of Shinjuku Showdown. Because Shinjuku Showdown itself could probably be all in volume 30. In my opinion.
Have you guys seen?
No,
have
I
you-
think
don't think
they're.
so?
I think they're already into like the Sukuna fight in the volume. Yeah.
I feel like volume 29 would have to start with
Because the
like,
last
the
volume
Gojo
had
shit.
Utah on the cover, right?
Yeah.
28.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Why?
Why else would Utah be on the cover?
From. Actually, yeah. Why would he be on that cover?
I'm pretty sure they're already in it.
Yeah, but if Utah's in the cover and like if it's at that point where Utah's already, that doesn't leave us with a lot of chapters. Like how small is volume 30 supposed to be then?
Could be 5 chapters.
No, that's that's a booklet, bro. That's a pamphlet. What the fuck are you
The
talking
rest
about?
is just explanation.
No, nah.
But like, no.
I think volume 29 and 30
What if
both
30
would have to be Shinjuku Showdown at least.
No. What if 30 is like his like whole like goodbye? Like, what if like there's extra pages in there?
There
like,
should
a shit
100%
ton of extra
there will be,
pages?
but he like the volume still needs to have like regular volume size. Like if you like just peep one of those volumes, like there's at least like actually I'm gonna check right now. Fuck.
Fuck what? He's walking off the pod.
Yeah.
What is this?
I was gonna say something. Have you seen the stuff on Twitter where they're talking about how Geiji was just being a troll this entire time?
No, but
everything?
I see people trying to say that he tried to copy Attack on Titan and making a circular series.
Oh,
'Cause, like, how at the end
there was the finger.
The finger.
Yeah,
but then
I don't think-
somebody commented on it and they're like, yo, why are you guys being dumb as fuck? The first chapter it's like a curse.
Yeah.
The last chapter is like peace and tranquility. Like, how do you guys
Yeah.
not see that?
Yeah. But and also like, it wouldn't be the same, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
because even if somebody was to consume the cursed finger,
It's done.
Like
The Sukuna's not there.
Yeah, he's gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But where'd that finger come from?
That's the finger that they didn't eat.
Oh.
Because Yuta actually just took Yuji's finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense. Oh yeah. So it's the finger that Nobra used
Yeah.
on Sukuna, and Sukuna's gone. So
Yeah.
now that finger is just a finger. So if somebody eats the finger, they're just a
They're
fucking
just
weirdo.
eating, yeah. Whatever residual curse energy, but like
But
it's
still.
not gonna be like what
Yeah.
happened to Yuji or whatever. He's using the Gachikuda volume as a reference. There's 190 pages. That's like what, 5 chapters?
Yeah. More.
Wait, no more.
That's more because it's like 20. It's like 20 pages a chapter. Ish. On average, they're 20.
I would say there's about like 18ish
Yeah.
because they always have like
18. Yeah.
18
to 20,
chapters.
18 to 20.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's it is about 5-6 chapters. I think.
But
No,
Actually, I'm
I think
not
it's
doubling
more.
it. It's 12.
Yeah, it's like
It's
12.
12 chapters.
no, but people have been
So-
saying that
You-
like
Well, you get 12 chapters. Let's finish this.
yeah, go ahead.
You have 12 chapters for one, and then you have the 12 for that's 24 chapters.
Yeah.
When Shinjuku Showdown started, like that Kenjaku moment was like January-ish. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna check right now.
Well, like, cause you have from January till September 30th, That's 9 months. You have
Volume
4
28 covers from Inhuman Shinjuku. So from Shinjuku Showdown Part 18 to Shinjuku Showdown
part 18.
Part 26.
Is that the name? Was that the name of the chapter?
26.
So okay. So can you? It's chapter 254. Can you go to 254?
So it starts at what chapter is that?
Go to chapter 254
Okay.
just to see where that ended off. But I think there's room for revision. But you were saying? But right before I said let's finish this.
Oh, people are claiming that this is like the worst ending of any anime
Yo,
or manga
people
of
are
all time.
not. The current ending is always the worst ending of all time. Every time an ending happens, people are like they just over. Okay, yeah. So this is like right after or before, because this is when Utah still hasn't pulled up.
Yeah. No.
Or is it
Yeah. No,
after?
he already pulled up. This is after.
Because
I
Miguel
think.
pulls up after, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's
Then
because
then
yeah.
Yuji.
This
then
is when like
Yuji
Utah and
yeah.
Maki like just finished fighting.
Yeah.
Sukuna.
Yeah, yeah. So that makes sense.
We're past it.
Yeah.
Okay, damn. But we have 2 more volumes.
Yeah.
20. That's 24 chapters from that point. No, the last chapter was 271. That's 254. So that means we'll probably get a bunch of extra stuff in the final
Yeah.
volume.
That's what we just
Roughly.
said.
Yeah.
No, just making sure. Just tracking it. We're just tracking it.
All right. Anyways, yeah, people are saying this is the worst ending ever. Like
That's
they're
not true.
saying, They're saying it's worse than My Hero.
Mm.
They're saying it's worse.
No, My
than-
Hero takes the cake.
Yo, the thing. Okay, no.
Black Clover takes the cake.
Black Clover's
It's
already
not
done
done,
yet.
man.
Exactly.
Yo,
Did you read that last chapter?
It was horrible.
for what? Black Clover?
Yeah.
Okay, no. Let's talk
Sorry.
about that after.
Yeah,
Fuck. I think with JJK, like especially with the finger at the end being like a holy like warding off like her spirits, like I thought that was a really cool way to end it.
Yeah.
Because like he no longer attached.
The
to it.
cycle is like
It's
in
sick.
a way the cycle is complete. Like at least the Sukuna cycle.
Like from beginning to end, like it's sick.
Yeah.
Started with the finger, end with the finger. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like the Attack on Titan shit. It's not at all remotely the same.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck.
Somebody compared
Keep the
like
fucking
somebody compared
track, man.
the panel of like Yuji like all smiley and shit
Yeah.
to the panel of Eren like in the water crying.
Yeah. Okay. Like so. Honestly, like Attack on Titan manga ending was not good.
It wasn't.
Anime fixed it, and like it kind of just goes to show that like if you just add like a couple things,
A couple scenes, yeah.
it drastically changes how people perceive the ending. Because like anime watchers love that ending, where all the manga readers literally hated that
it.
ending, right?
Yeah.
And it's because even like the little changes that they did with like the dialogue and like just like the beach scene, like whatever, it made a difference in the impact, right? So then
Yeah.
like I feel like JJK has the opportunity to fix it in the anime if it's needed.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, but like with the Attack on Titan ending, if it went from like a 4 out of 10, it really only went up to like a 5.5 to a 6 out of 10. Like it didn't
Yeah.
didn't
Depends.
save
Depends.
it completely, right?
Yeah,
With
it
the
saved it
JJK
enough for me that like I don't think like Attack on Titan is just complete dog shit.
No,
now.
yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
with JJK though, I still feel like if right now we're saying it's already at like that 5.5 or 6, if we're like
of the ending.
of the ending, let's just like say it's already at that ending.
Yeah.
And then if the anime does something, then it's like just bringing it up from
It's just
there.
solid.
That's like a 7, 8, like that.
I feel
That's
like
better,
a
I
7
feel
out
like.
of 10 ending works. If it's
Yeah.
like, you know, I don't know how to actually rate this ending.
I don't know.
No,
'Cause it's-
th-
'cause
it's
I-
not.
'cause the
Honestly,
issue-
it's not that good.
Well,
Like I get where you guys are coming from. Like
it's not
like,
it's not a great ending, but it's not a bad ending.
but
Yeah.
it's just the loose ends. That's my biggest thing.
But the loose ends
is,
aren't
is like why
The loose ends are a
that
little
like
weird,
I
though,
feel like
agree.
that's an issue that's not an issue with the ending. I think that's an issue with like the overall plot progression, like because we were like
How does that not go in with the ending?
because like
The overall story.
because no that's the overall story,
And
but there,
ending
but
is
those
part of the story.
no but what I'm sorry what I'm saying is those loose ends were
Yeah.
random like tangents and things at the time
Yeah.
from different parts of the story, right?
Right.
And that just never got solved, right? I'm saying like the ending of like
But there were tangents literally like there's a last chapter. It was
Yeah.
introduced the chapter before.
yeah that one was random.
That's what
that was
doesn't
random.
fucking make sense,
I-
bro.
yeah.
You could have literally not
No,
that
introduced
one was
any of
random.
that,
them, yeah.
and you would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like it would have been like, you know, not as detrimental to the story.
Like that whole just random explanation of like whatever those guys were doing with like the simple domain dudes, like
oh yeah, all that.
that
too.
was just like I mean that was literally just like we were talking about it last time, like kind of just he's covering his
yeah,
tracks.
like tying loose ends, I
Yeah.
guess. But then just like creating new ones for no reason.
Yeah, I mean I think like we all agree like the worst part of the ending is the Kenjaku moment,
Yeah.
right? And then it kind of just trickles from there. But like I will say like after the My Hero ending, like yeah, that was, as manga readers, like I feel like just waiting week for week, and it's like you have this big climactic war. Everyone hits that point of exhaustion where they're like, I just want this over. Like think about when we had One Piece. Like people were
Right.
tired
Yeah, yeah.
by the time like Roof
And
Piece started.
That's the same thing
right?
with.
So,
yeah.
like, in that same way, My Hero, like the anime, was watching it.
Yeah.
It translates better because they can fit a lot of it per episode,
episode.
Yeah.
and it's all action packed,
You know
and
what?
it doesn't feel like it's dragged out.
Right.
So maybe that's the difference.
I feel
there.
like a lot of people like excluding like the loose ends. Had we read JJK like a binge read from one to like
It's
now,
different,
I think it's gonna be a lot different.
I think
Yeah,
we do need. I
probably,
think it's due
probably.
for like a reread to make sure, like just to see how it lines up. Just I feel like
Because
the
think about the
Kenjaku issue is still
progression.
gonna be there.
Yeah,
and,
100%. Like
whatever,
that, like the
but
loose end stuff. Like that's still gonna be there. But like in
Yeah.
terms of like the progression of the story,
yeah,
it's gonna feel so much faster reading.
yeah,
Like you're not waiting a week or whatever.
That's
Like
true.
there's a
Yeah.
break now we have to wait 2 weeks or whatever.
yeah. That's true.
Right. So the progression of the story is gonna be a lot faster,
Yeah.
and the beats are gonna start hitting. I feel like.
There's also I think he was planning like an exhibition for like end of like somewhere in December, I think. So it could be kind of like, oh, let me give you like extra side story stuff. You know what I mean? Like we don't, because like he's done exhibitions like after every arc, I think, like when Shibuya happened, and people were taking things from the exhibition of like trying to figure out like just like the meaning and like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
like, you know, like trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
theorize and shit, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he could do the same thing, like the way Vagabond dude did it with his exhibition, and like Togashi's done it with Hunter x Hunter, and like people always should have like their past works and like certain things. Like it's sometimes it's just art and it doesn't really mean much, but then sometimes it's like they do have like there was the Attack on Titan exhibition and they have like things that you can kind of
Yeah.
like it plays into the story, you know.
I saw people saying on Twitter that like they were promised more but given less or something, based off of the way the story was progressing from like start to like now or whatever.
For Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, like with like
Yeah.
how the cursed energy was like so intricate or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and then like all these like little plot lines with like Kenjiku,
Yeah,
Sukuna,
yeah.
the Yuji whole like
Yeah.
parents thing, and
None
then
of
like
that- yeah, none of that
whatever,
was
like
even,
they were just given less than what they were like
Expect-
promised in a
expecting.
way, or
Yeah,
expect.
yeah, I
It's
get
like
that.
expecting or
It's
I get
expectation.
that.
expecting.
So many,
yeah.
so
But
there's
it's
a lot
like
of
some
readers that
promise,
like
yeah.
feel some type of way when they, and that's kind of how I felt with Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
I was expecting like a certain standard with the ending,
yeah.
and it failed to reach that expectation, right?
But it's also like if you're introducing plot points, you're introducing all these things. Explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you
Okay,
introducing it to
So
not
how do you?
explain
So
it?
how do you
does
guys? So how would you feel about the full? Like, what's your overall rating? Like, how do you feel about the full
that, like
story?
Jujutsu Kaisen stories?
Yeah. Now that it's done, like,
It's like that horse thing I sent you.
yeah.
so-
But like,
I
how?
think
But how
we
do you
could,
like?
yeah,
What's your rating for it?
Oh, I don't
Like,
know. I'd have to
it's
reread
no
it.
longer like
like
I get the horse thing. You can be like, oh, like the beginning was like a 9 or 10 out of 10, whatever. But then like now I'm saying it like as a story because now you gotta like add that horse
Right,
drawing.
but,
I
like,
gotta
what-
read
so-
it
so
all.
would-
though.
as
I'm saying it right now. Just
from
just
a
like
writing
this.
standpoint.
You can change your mind after.
from a writing
but-
standpoint, what the climax of Jujutsu Kaisen
Yeah,
would be the whole Sukuna raid boss moment, right? That'd be
Mhm.
like the climax.
I feel like the Gojo versus Sukuna was
right,
the
but
climax
it
of the
starts
story.
going into the like the raid
Yeah,
boss, right?
Yeah,
I think that's where it like kind of fell off for me.
yeah,
Like
I agree.
It was like it was all good until they just made Sukuna too strong.
I think
like,
so.
And Gojo did nothing.
I think.
So it
yeah.
was just like it was like the writing kind of went downhill then.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel like overall though?
Mm.
Because you also have the loose ends now, like as like the overall story. You
Yeah.
have things that like they didn't answer for you, and it's like how much does that matter to you? Because like with the High like not getting a High flashback for Sukuna, I'm okay with it just because like they did the character so well that we didn't necessarily
Yeah.
need to go into the character like that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So like I'm cool with like that's not a big issue for me. I know that's like a big issue for certain people. Like they just
Yeah, I don't have
needed
it,
that
like,
High shit.
I don't. Yeah, again, I don't need the high and air stuff, but it just like it would be nice to know like
Yeah.
he sealed himself. Like what was the? There we got an explanation, right, or something.
Well, it was they just explained that like he learned it from Kenjaku. They didn't explain like the circumstances of why he had to do it.
Right.
They didn't. Yeah,
But
they
then
didn't explain that.
couldn't he have just come back during the Culling Games in his prime the same way everyone else did?
Yeah, I guess so. But then I guess he would have been bound to like.
See, like that's like that
Yeah,
explanation
I
that we
don't know.
didn't get. If like they would have explained that like Yuji was like the reason Kenjaku did what he did with
Yeah,
Yuji's
that's
dad
what I was
was
saying.
so that
He could create
Sukuna
a-
could
yeah.
like have a prime vessel to come back for the culling game. That would make sense, but they don't explain
Any
that.
of that.
That's just
all-
like headcanon.
yeah. From
But you
fans.
could say like as a sorcerer, it's kind of like that. Like, you know how Voldemort fucking has like the 7 Horcruxes and he like splits
Yeah.
himself into like it's
Okay.
it's kind of like would you like you have a better chance of surviving as 20 fingers than to like wait for this moment of like when the culling games will happen and maybe if it'll ever happen.
No,
Because that's assuming that like Six Eyes user's not there.
yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that like splitting himself into 20 fingers was a bad idea or like they didn't explain that well. But if they would have explained that he split himself into 20 fingers because Kenjaku said, "Yo, I'll put you in like a vessel," and Kenjaku's plan was to like have sex with
Yeah.
Yuji's dad
and like do this whole thing.
and do
Yeah.
this whole thing to create this prime vessel, have Sukuna
Yeah.
come back better and stronger or whatever. Like I don't know if like that was the explanation, then like
Yeah.
it would work. But we don't get
But
anything.
I think it's okay if he did it on his own accord though.
What, Kenjaku just wanted to get his cheeks clapped?
No,
and like
no, no.
Sukuna just wanted to split himself
Well,
into 20 fingers?
Yeah.
Well, we know Kenjaku's plot was his own plot.
But they
I'm
don't.
saying
but,
Sukuna,
like,
'cause
what was his
Sukuna's-
plot?
yeah.
Like Kenjaku was accounting for Sukuna, like, whatever. But like, in terms of Sukuna, like himself, I think the 20 fingers makes more sense for him.
But like, what was his plot with Yuji? Why did he go get
Yeah.
his cheeks clapped?
Yeah, I mean, fucking.
Like they explain who Yuji's dad was, but like they don't explain why Kenjaku
Yeah.
did what he did.
So okay, so do you feel like the story like starts to fall apart
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
you like because we went like as it was fucked up at the end of the whole story, it starts fucking shit up from like the beginning of the story, and it's kind of like okay, what
Because
like now you're finding issues. Yeah, you're finding issues
while
with
you're
certain
on
things
the
now.
journey. When questions are coming up that aren't being answered because you're still on the journey.
Yeah, you're like
you can be like, okay, I'll get answered
later.
later on.
Yeah.
But now that the journey's done and you go back and you're like, okay, this didn't even get answered. Like that's a negative. This didn't.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like,
That's fair.
I don't know.
So how do you guys rate it though? Because I feel like this is something for me. This was something that like I really liked the power system,
Yeah.
and I really liked how like it was like kind of like Hunter x Hunter in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cast was obviously fucking sick and like whatever. So like
Yeah.
that aspect I really liked. And then for me it was the binding vows that kind of took me out of the fucking power system.
Like,
Because like
Yeah.
and there is a bit of like
a bunch.
the system kind of gets complex where you're like, wait, what did I just read?
Yeah.
And you kind of have to like it starts to make time as you like read it again and again and like figure out how it all like works together. But I feel like the binding vow thing just took me out
Mhm.
power wise.
Yeah, that's true. Like, oh, I negate this because I did this
Yeah.
binding vow.
And then like other than that, like the one thing that really holds like still like really good for this is just the philosophy, like the Buddhism
yeah.
stuff that they were kind of going
Yeah.
off of.
Yeah.
Every time they introduce like some type of theme like that, like it like resolved itself like pretty well.
You know what would have fixed the binding vow issue? I think people have said this as well. Had they explained that binding vows are so like you need such skill to do a binding vow
That like not everyone can do it.
that not everybody can do it, it would be more impressive that Sukuna's doing it.
Yeah,
But secondly, you would have to have the trade-offs actually matter.
that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing. The biggest thing
Yeah.
is the trade-offs mattering though.
Yeah,
That is my issue of it. Like,
yeah.
because like I'm okay with like, and if they show like an inexperienced sorcerer doing a binding vow, which they did with Miwa. Like when somebody who's like, I don't care if I can never
Yeah.
use sorcery
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
and then still doesn't get like shit all for like the effect of it. That just shows you like you need to know how to use the binding vow like
Yeah. It was
correctly,
just-
right?
It was just
Because you can't just assume you're gonna get like a gone moment and just fucking like
Yeah.
just one shot Sukuna because you did
That's-
that or something
that's
or
what's
like whatever,
crazy. Is,
right?
like, the whole fucking Hakari of it all, bro.
Yeah,
Like, bro, Mans gets hit by Hajime, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do a binding vow
To give up my arm
to
or
give up
something.
my arm to protect the rest of my body.
yeah,
Then just fucking hits insta regen.
yeah.
And it's just
I
like,
think-
bro, this guy could have just fucking done like
Yeah.
he could have been an insta regen and just binding vow the fuck out of himself to be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, if I touch you, you fucking die, Sukuna.
I think
like, you know what I mean?
I think-
I give up everything. He's just a finger, you know.
like I kind of wonder if like Geiji kind of got lost in his own system,
Yeah.
like not having it mapped out.
yeah.
Because I know like while we were reading it, there were people mapping out like how the sorceries and like the energy all works,
Yeah.
and like I think like Geiji just didn't map it out herself because binding vow should have been at the top,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would be RCT because having
Yeah.
RCT above everything,
Yeah.
and like maybe RCT is like the heart that is the hardest thing for like. That's when people are like,
It's because
"Oh,
it's
now you're
like
fucking crazy."
it's
but it's
positive. It's like
It's-
and
yeah.
it's double.
And that's-
so
it's
like
the-
it's the hardest-
You're
yeah.
expending so
it
much.
technically
Yeah.
is like the hardest thing, but it's just the way the binding vows work.
Yeah.
That like that should have just been like a. That's a way that you can play any fight the way you want
Yeah.
without having to like be like and then have bullshit plot. Like RCT is a plot armor thing in the same way, right?
Yeah.
Just being able to undo it, and it's
Yeah.
like binding vows. At least it's like like the plot armor is written in the story where you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I get this. Like it's like you can do it. Anyone can do it, right?
It was
But then
kind of like
even-
it was kind of like the way that like everybody loved this like power factor to like JJK.
Yeah.
But like in other mangas and animes, user would explain their power just for
yeah.
lulz.
Just
But
for
then
the
in
reader.
JJK they would explain it to get that like power boost
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
or like
yeah.
they wouldn't explain it, and you had to watch them figure it out.
Figure it out, yeah.
And that like for me, like culling games was so like peak in that sense.
Yeah.
Because like you had so many like different like powers and things interacting, and like we learned so much more of the system.
Yeah.
Like that shit was crazy.
But like again, we like talking about like plot armor and like
Yeah.
ass pulls and stuff. Kenjaku versus Yuki, bro. His
Yo.
fucking no, hold on. His anti-gravity. Where the fuck was that after that fight?
Yeah, I mean,
Where was it after?
he
that
technically
fight?
never fought after that.
Oh,
that was his last
Oh,
fight.
No, yeah. What if he just like triggered anti-gravity and just crushed
Utah before you could pull up on him.
Yeah. Or like before he could swing his sword.
There is obviously an issue of that
Like, you know what I
Kenjaku
mean?
versus Utah, like
And
that
Yuki,
situation. That issue is not stopping. I feel like.
I still think the way that they should have went is they should have delayed the Kenjaku versus Yuki fight to kind of
Yeah.
where they put the Takaba
Mm.
Kenjaku thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then had Yuki actually beat Kenjaku to allude that Yuji would beat Sukuna, and like the ideology would be Yuki's that would win.
Yeah. Because we never gonna answer any of that either.
That's
no,
cool.
we didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like had they played
be
it like
better.
that, I feel like the story would have like
Yeah.
felt
Yeah.
a lot better.
So what do you rate it then? The series out of 10.
I think I'd still give it like an 8.
Mm.
I don't like. Obviously, like a reread will change everything, but I think like it's so hard to be like biased towards it. Like obviously, like Yuta and Maki were like I fucking love these characters, right? And then like
Yeah.
Sukuna and Gojo, like I feel like Sukuna and Gojo are like characters that like
They
across
transcended their manga.
yeah.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
they're just kind of like when people talk about like Itachi or like just just in general, like every anime has like those
Yeah.
characters that kind of just like they like hold that shit on their own, like the way
Yeah.
like almost like how like Hisoka is for like Hunter.
Yeah.
And,
yeah,
like, So then like I like Attack on Titan kind of has that with like
Levi.
like
know.
and
Yeah,
like
Levi.
Eren in a way, and
Yeah.
like you could even say like Zeke, like these
Yeah, Zeke too.
like Reiner
Not really.
in a way, but he doesn't. I don't think he transcends it like that. He's kind of.
Mm.
But those other three that you're talking about, like yeah, for sure. So for me, I think like those, there's enough of a cast that I fuck with them so hard that I could like this can stay like up in my ranks still,
Mhm.
especially because like I've seen other like manga like fumble their endings,
Yeah.
and like as much as it hurts, it's like like you enjoyed the journey so much that like you can kind of like write it off in a way. Like
Mhm.
it's yeah. Like Magi's ending, that was like plot armor after plot armor.
Yeah.
But like I'm a ride or die for Magi still. Like that's just crazy. Like Fire Force, like looking
Don't
back.
tell me.
Okay, but looking back at Fire Force,
Yeah.
I'm not saying like what it was.
I-
Yo, people give Fire Force
But-
like the greatest shonen like
But
new
I will-
gen
I-
ending. I don't agree.
I will say though, like, cause we were reading it week to week.
Yeah.
At that time, it was like what a dog shit ending. Like I remember us talking about like this is what a dog shit ending. But then like looking back at it, I'm like this actually like it wasn't that bad.
No, it's not. It's not that it's bad. It's just that it's not the best,
Yeah.
or it's not like like the way that it ended up tying everything
Yeah.
off at the end. It was very
It was
much
good.
ass pulley.
Yeah, that too. But that's why I feel like what My Hero, JJK, and like Fire Force have in common in that way is like people. It's just like the readers just tapping out
Yeah.
of just being like, yo, just end it now, right?
That wasn't even like the Fire Force thing, bro. I was hoping it went
I know.
longer.
There's a whole yeah.
But then
yeah.
the way that they decided that they wanted to like end it and like progress
Yeah.
it to like what we saw in the last chapter,
yeah
it was very much not Fire Force.
yeah.
It went from Fire Force
It
to
was
saying,
it was so random.
yeah, it was such
And
a random jump.
and it wasn't like they didn't go deeper into like what they just showed us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was just so like, here it is.
Yeah.
It's cool because it does this.
Yeah.
Take it for what you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it like the greatest like new gen ending.
Yeah. I mean, so like how would you guys rate JJK? Because like I'm saying it's like an 8. Like I can
I think it's like a 7.5.
7.5.
I'm gonna give it 8.5.
Like, what do you-
But
Okay.
I need to reread it all because
Yeah,
I have
same.
I have like that like fatigue of just fucking reading the raid boss shit.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of just like, yo, like fuck this
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I like the anime is already doing like such a great job, and I feel like
It could definitely fix.
I feel like the things that I really liked about JJK were still like it's still like very strong and holds up.
Yeah.
It's just obviously like the actual story. Like when you think about like the pacing and like whatever, it's like, oh shit, like there's a lot of issues there. But like,
Yeah.
even like Dragon Ball has like those issues of like you know.
But like
It's like why are you watching it? Like
my
what are the
favorite
reasons you're
part-
watching it? Does it
That's
still
true.
hold up for
That's
why
true.
you're watching it?
Yeah.
Right?
My favorite part of JJK was like the culling games, like introducing
yeah.
all these like different characters in
Yeah.
like a kind of like a tournament setting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where you have like people trying to like, especially like Yuta fighting all those people. He's like trying to hide his techniques. He's like, I
Yeah.
don't want them to know what I'm doing because if they see me doing this, then they're gonna know I can do this, right?
Mhm.
Like that whole sort of like cunningness,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm.
the cunning game.
The cunning.
Wow, that's crazy.
He had to get one.
I
off.
also like. I think. I think like the Buddhism stuff was really cool.
Yeah.
To see like just like how thorough he was with that.
Yeah,
Like that was like also one of my favorite things about it. And then
but it was just the thing.
the
right?
paneling, obviously. I love the paneling,
it's
and all
kinda
and all like the cool ass callbacks to like Digimon or like Pokemon.
Yeah,
or,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Yu Yu
The
yeah.
Hakusho.
references were dope.
Like, everywhere.
the references were really dope.
Yeah.
But it's just like when you like start a series, right? And I guess maybe it got like lost along the way, but because they didn't like figure out an ideology,
Yeah.
it kind of almost
Yeah.
feels like they didn't finish.
the ending. It's not done.
It's not done. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Like
agree.
It's like you start Naruto, he's like, I want to be Hokage,
yeah.
and then it ends with him not becoming Hokage. And
Yeah.
you're like,
I agree.
But Yuji
What?
doesn't
Yeah.
really
Do you know what I
have.
mean?
Yuji's
Like-
not like a character like that.
I know,
though.
not him, but it's the goal was like the ideology
Like what transcends.
of like
what
you
wins
know,
at the end.
It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Geto's or Yuki's ideology,
Word.
right?
Yeah.
Among other things, but
But
so
you
it's
could-
kind of like
You could say by showing that parallel to Gojo, that was to show you like that was the ideology that won.
that Gojo's one.
Yeah.
Yuji became Gojo.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess
Like that's kind of. I guess you could like read between the lines
yeah,
type
I
of thing.
guess. But
Yeah.
like I still think like for the world in itself, like that's not like a self ideology for Yuji, like the
Yeah.
one that he's talking about, but I feel like the world for itself, like how does it move forward?
Yeah.
I feel like they should have told us like which ideology won out of those two.
Yeah. And then they didn't even
Um,
tie up the world leader stuff that was happening.
They didn't tie up
There's
that.
a lot, bro. There's a
Yeah.
lot they didn't tie up.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Tengen's merger didn't happen, and
Yeah.
Tengen died. So what the fuck does that mean?
It's just Sukuna's
Yeah.
husk with Tengen in it.
The thing is though, like when the anime continues, like we're gonna have such a great time watching it
I
still,
know.
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy because like Cullingan's gonna be sick, but then
Yeah.
like just like to see Gojo,
Gojo
and Sukuna like
Sukuna,
on
yeah.
screen like fighting is gonna
And then
be
the whole
insane.
like raid boss is gonna be like
it's gonna show up a lot
expedited.
better.
Yeah.
It's gonna show up a lot better on
Yeah.
anime.
100%.
How do you guys feel if they do correct some of this stuff?
What do you mean?
Like what if they actually do put in like a whole fight? Like what if
Like the anime?
yeah, so
'Cause
like
we've
so
seen-
like
we've
so
seen
like
that with
so like what
Naruto,
if
right?
like
Yeah.
Yuta and Kenjaku actually have like a full fight, and then the ending thing is him cutting his head off, like how it was in the manga, and it's not like, cause it's kind of like for Bleach, like you know how like he like rushed through the ending,
Yeah.
and like now we're getting a lot of like anime only scenes that are
Mhm.
really like fleshing out parts of it.
Right.
Like if we get that, like is that enough? Cause
They gotta change a lot.
I'm saying like just the Kenjaku thing, like
just that one.
cause a lot of the other
How's
things.
he alive at the end?
It's still like it's
But, okay,
it's not
okay,
just
okay,
it's not just
but
like
I'm saying-
It's like they gotta change multiple
Okay,
things. It's not
okay.
like you can change one scene.
What I'm saying, okay, for
Like you can for sure
Mm.
expand on the Hikari and Urime fight,
yeah.
right? But then other than that, everything else, if you were to expand or like explain things, it affects other points in the story.
I would
other
say
things in the
Yeah.
story.
if they can they should be able to explain like anything within like a couple like a scene, like just like a 30-second scene or something like that,
right.
something that can explain it well enough, like just like within that time frame, like because they can add that where like with the Takaba and Kenjaku thing,
Yeah.
they could have like a narrator talk about that over top while they're having this coffee and thinking about like the next joke. That's like something that's doable. and it's like such a minor change.
The
It's just
narrator being like,
just
oh, yeah,
have-
he's alive because this.
yeah, like that's all it needs to really.
I
Needs
guess
to
it's
happen.
an
I
explanation.
guess.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really it's an explanation type of thing. It's
yeah.
like in the same way that the Attack on Titan one was, right? So then you have what was the other issue? Like
his
there-
head was completely cut off. Like, how do you
yeah, because I feel like you can add fight. You can show like fights are easier to show as like
Wasn't
filler
wasn't
or
he
like as,
talking
like,
with
you know-
his head cut off though?
He was. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, for the little machine thing to go to Sukuna, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was some
But,
like
if he
Naraku
hit,
moment.
If he hit like reverse CT and just like
Kenjaku?
rezzed- no, yeah.
I don't think
just
Kenjaku
rezzed
could. He wasn't doing
reverse.
RCT.
He probably could.
No, he was
Was he?
with Yuki.
I thought that was Yuki doing RCT, and he's like, "Yo,
He
why
also
aren't
did,
you healing yourself?" And
he
she-
also did RCT at the end. I'm pretty sure at the end.
There's
of the
no
fight.
way he did RCT and he couldn't RCT again when Yuta cut his head off.
See,
Then that's like,
problems.
okay, I'm sorry. Now I'm just like, I ain't nothing saving you, dog.
No,
like,
If
like, what are
think
you
about- if
talking
think
about?
Like Jujutsu Kaisen, like he's been alive for. We don't even know his real fucking name.
Yeah,
But
but
he's been alive for fucking years.
but if
so-
he can do RCT, like
His real name
he
is
shouldn't be
Kenjaku.
body hopping.
That's his real name?
Yeah,
What's his real name?
Kenjaku.
No, I
Okay.
thought that was the name.
Yeah,
That's his
No.
real
no,
name.
Kenjaku's the first one.
Kenjaku's the real name.
Yeah.
That's what's
Like
his
the brain-
Noritoshi was the
One of
body. People
Yeah.
were
right, but
thinking
what's
that he
his
was Noritoshi.
name? Like
What do you mean?
he just has one
Kenjaku.
name.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah, bro.
Gojo Satoru like
Oh,
Ryomen
oh,
Sukuna,
yeah. I don't know.
right?
I
Like
don't know
what's his
Kenjaku's-
clan name?
Oh, I
And
don't
what was
know.
his clan CT?
But he was
that allowed.
he was
for
a
him to,
brain,
like-
so like I don't even know like if he was a clan. Was he? He was.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Was he a cursed spirit or something?
no,
Cause how is he just a brain?
another explanation, bro.
That's
Not
his
given to us.
technique. Now, Yuta's brain also has just a mouth on it.
Yeah. That
But,
RCT
like,
can't heal for
That
some
was his
reason.
technique. So that means any of his descendants should have the same technique.
If he has descendants, like with him body hopping, it's like, what do the descendants get? Do they get his?
No, he could have had kids before he body hopped.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like outside of the scope of the story now. Cause like, did he really? Like, would he? Like, with the way he's on his mission, like, is he really gonna have kids?
And then how did like, because Yuji's mom had the anti-gravity technique.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what clan did that come
Yeah.
from? Because
There's
It doesn't have to come from clans though.
It's
Curse
not- yeah.
like cursed techniques can just like
Develop.
conjure up.
I thought it was they had to manifest through a clan,
No.
so you can just have cursed energy. And
well,
conjure
no,
whatever.
cause in like Yuta's situation, he has a copy technique. Nobody else has that technique.
No, but they say he's a descendant of a XYZ clan.
Yeah.
He's a descendant of like one of He's part
It's
Gojo.
Gojo and another clan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then like he doesn't have any Gojo clan tech.
But it's cursed
Right.
energy is fucking insane. So it's probably like from there. Or something.
But go like that's his curse. Like there's things that are just for the individual itself too, right?
Yeah.
So obviously like they don't expand on the other clan, but like you would think you'd have some Gojo shit too. And then you made me forget, but there was another. Like there's obviously like there's still like those like the plot hole of like the binding vows that they can't really change with the anime.
Yeah.
But I think like there's enough to fix that's like okay, now it's not like riddled with holes. You know, you're like yo, maybe it's like here and there. Like that is it's not as bad, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are chapped at the ending
I mean, it's like, you know.
because
it
this was
ended.
like a top 3 manga for you when like or like 4 like top 5
I
I
don't
guess.
know
I don't even know.
yeah.
It was like up there for you.
Yeah.
Like you almost
Well.
wanted that shit you want that shit tatted on you. Do you still want it tatted on you?
I don't
You
know.
want that shit? Like, does anyone want that shit tatted on them? Like,
I don't know. Maybe like a character thing. I don't know, like a
yeah.
Sukuna or Gojo thing. But like otherwise, I wouldn't really. I don't know.
How do you? Would you get someone tatted?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I fell for you then.
What do you
You
mean?
see, he rated it 7.5.
Yeah.
Huh?
What do you mean it fell for you? When did I say I was gonna get something tatted from you?
No, I know. I'm just saying, like,
So, like,
No.
what do you mean it fell?
Would you
You're
get
like,
something
"Oh, I
tatted?"
fell for
well,
you, dude."
I mean, like, cause there's like obviously there's like that level of like I fuck with this hard enough that I'll get it tattooed, right?
yeah.
So then like, it's not even like at that level of like, okay, yeah, nah. You know
I
what
don't know.
mean?
There wasn't any like even if we were to look at, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Was
Yeah.
there any like significant character development moments that were like, holy shit, this character's fucking insane?
I think
Maki.
Yuji had the
Maki.
most, and Maki,
Yeah, probably.
And
Yuji.
you could say Sukuna as a character too.
and Sukuna.
Yeah, maybe Sukuna. Yeah.
yeah. I
But there was none that I was kind of like, oh shit, like this, like nothing like.
think I'd still get Maki tattooed, That was always my GP.
Mm-hmm.
But like just because like it's hard to see someone like that in like shonen, like
Yeah.
like a female lead like that.
No. Yeah.
So like I think I'd still get Maki tattooed. I don't think it, like
Not Miwa.
that's you, dog.
That's you, bro.
That's you.
That was always you. That was your
Yeah,
GP.
I'm surprised you're actually not getting it tattooed. Like what the heck?
Man. Didn't even see her domain, bro. Did you not see Twitter was going
Yeah.
ham about what her domain was?
No, I'm not on Miwa Twitter, bro.
Dude, they're like her domain. No. It
no,
was like it was
no,
like
you're a
before-
Miwa cultist, bro.
It was like before, it was before the final chapter dropped, right? And people are showing like fake leaks of like, everyone being alive, like Gojo being alive, his
Tatiana's
entire
burner.
clan.
Tatiana's burner.
And the theory was that Miwa's domain expansion, which is why she didn't use the entire time, was time reversal, and she just reversed time to before everything happening. And I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy. Like, who the fuck?
That's our Jujutsu Kaisen. That's our,
This is my Jujutsu Kaisen.
yeah, I feel like you can still take like the characters from the story,
Mm-hmm.
like in that same vein of like Naruto kind of like has those issues, especially like it's mainly the Kaguya issue, right? Because like the ninja war itself was like solid until they introduced Kaguya and like kind of just like sideline Madara from that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you would still like Hashirama, Madara,
Everything else was still
Obito,
insane,
Kakashi, Naruto, like Minato, like there's like such a big range of characters that are just so solid. Like Guy,
Yeah.
Rock
Yo.
Lee, Gaara, Shikamaru, like
There was no significant. I mean, I guess one. There was not a lot of significant character deaths in Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like
there was Nanami.
I said not a lot.
I mean, like in
I think there
general,
was like 3.
well, Jogo died. If you care about Jogo, Jogo's death was pretty like in the anime.
In the
it
anime,
felt
it was dope.
fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. No, because
But,
I was
like-
like, I think we have Nanami, you have Yaga, the principal,
Yeah,
and Gojo, right?
Yaga's death was pretty like
Chozo.
bro. Like Panda
Oh,
was so
Chozo's
sad and
too,
shit.
right?
Chozo.
Chozo's
I forgot Chozo
Chozo had a
died.
complete
I
arc.
forgot
Like Chozo as a
died. I
character
forgot Chozo died.
from like being a villain to like brother and like where it led to.
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
like that was like really
I definitely
complete.
I definitely think though, like the whole, like I think I was saying, like this is like when we first started like the whole boss battle,
Yeah,
and I was saying like, yo, Sukuna should be ripping through a lot of these people.
yeah.
He should have.
And like a lot of those people that did step up against Sukuna should have died.
I agree.
Yeah.
And like, because it just makes sense. It's fucking
Yeah.
Sukuna. Why is he not like ripping through fucking
Yeah, Higgy should have died.
Higgy should have
No,
died.
so-
Fucking like Chozo eventually died, which is like fine.
yeah.
What's his face? The fucking teacher.
Kusakabe.
Kusakabe
Shoulda
should have
died.
died. Like there's like so many, like the other
the dude who wears the mask.
the mask guy.
Hey,
Nanami's
the guy who pulled up Nanami's like
Yeah, he
the,
thing,
should've
the,
yeah.
the international people that pulled
They all
through,
shoulda
they
died.
should have died. Like,
But it's like, okay, why were people able to see, like, explain this to me again? Sukuna's world slash when the world slash cut Gojo and killed Gojo, but everyone else was able to dodge it.
I think it's because he didn't.
he set a binding vow for
No.
when he shot it at no, this is actually it. When he shot it at Gojo to conceal his like triggers.
Okay,
So like the spark or whatever, so
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Gojo couldn't see or
Okay.
sense it happening.
right,
But then he gave it up so that every time he would have to do this world slash,
yeah.
he would have to do a certain amount of steps to actually use it.
Oh, okay.
For example, like the hand signs,
okay,
incantation,
okay,
and then
okay.
everybody would be able to see that
yeah,
spark.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. I was also gonna say like when during the Gojo and Sukuna fight, I thought like Gojo also probably just expected it to not cut him. So like, and that's part of like him just being like so ballsy, like being like, yeah, like it's not gonna cut me, hasn't cut me yet or whatever, and just kind of like he was trying to get that hollow purple to go off. So I think that was like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else is like, oh, if that shit hits me, I'm dead. I need to make sure I don't get hit by that.
Mm.
So there's a different context there too.
Also, like bringing Yuta back or putting Yuta in Gojo's body for what?
Did nothing, yeah.
You guys are haters,
Bro, they
man.
did nothing. What, like,
That was sick seeing Utah do that shit.
No,
That was sick.
no.
the
Well,
dialogue
okay,
to it.
okay,
The dialogue to it was nice.
The reason why
But
I like it
it
though
don't
is
work.
because it starts to give you like
An idea of how.
I have idea of like how Gojo is.
Yeah, how beast Gojo
how
is, but
strong
you
he
could've done that
was.
in a different different way.
100% they could have done it a different way, and like, we did get a lot of it, like when Sukuna was fighting him, like a little bit, but like, and these guys were just watching it on the side, and they're kind of like commentating on it a bit,
Mm-hmm.
but like I feel like we never got it like as intimately as like Yuta put it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like like him saying that like Gojo was this monster that and you guys like kept him as a monster, and then like him, Yuta also being a prodigy, trying to figure out Gojo's techniques and just realizing how crazy it actually is to like work with these techniques. Like I think like it changes a lot of it.
But the outcome did nothing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I mean, can't really explain that. I'm a Yuta fan at the end of the
Anyways,
day. Like
My Hero.
Oh fuck. We're
The
still
anime?
talking about this?
Well, it's getting animated now, right?
well, the
So,
the anime is actually not that bad.
It's terrible.
You hated it?
Um,
What the fuck you talking about? What did you hate about it?
I honestly, just one thing.
Okay.
Just one minor thing,
Okay.
and it's not even like
Minor thing that made him think it's terrible.
it's what's her name? You know what's her name? Kami,
Okay. Yeah.
the girl with
The sailor hat type
Sailor
of thing.
hat?
Yeah.
Did you hear her English dub?
No, I'm not. We're watching it English dubbed.
I didn't. I don't.
Oh.
I'm not watching it. It's just all
Okay.
over Twitter,
Okay.
and it's fucking insane,
Like it's good or it's bad.
bro. It's All For One. It's a scene. So remember when All For One takes Hawks's quirk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So she's like by there,
Okay.
and in the manga, she's like, "That's totally not rad" or whatever the fuck, right? She says something along those lines.
Okay.
Bro, in their dub, she's like Hawks is a total Riz king.
Stop.
I can't believe
You're
you
lying.
almost killed him. I almost entered my grief era. And
Damn.
then she's like, when did All
That
For
is
One?
so.
She's like,
like-
when did All For One
Was
get
that
a face?
Gen A or Gen,
Gen
Z,
Z.
or something?
She's like, when did All For One get a face card?
I don't believe you. Is that real?
This can't be real. This
Pull it
has
up right
to
now.
No,
This
I'm
has
gonna
to
keep
be
it
up
out
right
here.
now.
I don't even want to
this
hear
Pull
has
it.
it
to
up
be
right
I don't
now.
want to
out
hear
there.
it. I don't want to hear
Pull
it.
it up
This
right
I
now.
don't want to hear it.
Pull it up right now.
But that's why you hate that.
I was like, yo, what the fuck
wait,
is this?
wait.
I was like, what the fuck
He
is
thought
this?
it's terrible.
That's terrible.
No, I know, but like.
Other
I
than
think-
that, it's fine.
I think they fucked up. Like I haven't seen it, but like obviously seen the clips or like
Yeah.
whatever the trailer, everything. I think the atmosphere is like horrible.
Oh, like
Broad daylight.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
That's something that they always do
But it's so stupid.
with the sky, and it kind of like ruins.
So
no, but
the,
it has to be
stupid.
more
it ruin
dark.
it
needs to
ruins
have
it.
dark-
It does
yeah,
it does
dark.
ruin the tone there, but like
And it stakes, like the stakes kind of go away too.
I think
With
but-
the blue sky.
Yeah, it's like it's like it's a good day. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a cinematic thing, right?
Okay.
Like it's like that like in a tonal, the tone has to match the actual stakes.
yeah.
If it's a fucking sunny ass day, blue sky, birds are flying through,
Yeah.
it takes away from it's tone deaf.
Unless
Yeah.
it's dependent on what you're trying to do, right?
What are they trying to do?
No, not with them. Like I was saying.
I
in an
think
example that was
I
thinking
think
of.
part of that though is like with his English dub shit. I feel like it's because it's like for kids. It's like keep it brighter because it's like you're about to have like a shit ton of like death
Who?
and like
What?
whatever.
What deaths?
Who?
Just-
Who?
You
Who?
don't just
Who?
the pump fakes. You're so but like you have Todoroki's like brother.
Yeah.
You have Endeavor's
yeah.
shit going down.
Yeah.
You have Hawks going through his shit, and then you have Bakugo and like whatever.
Yeah.
I just think like maybe it's cause this is like for kids that they're trying to like keep it bright and stuff. Because we know that like there's been panels in the manga where like in the manga it looks like it's at night,
Mhm.
and then when they translate to the anime, it's like you guys just fucked the whole vibe up.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I will say though, like with how far they are in the anime, that it's coming across a lot better because like it's just action, and you're getting like so much, and then you're getting like all these different sides, and it doesn't feel like you don't have to sit there like, oh man, I gotta look at this side, and I gotta look at like
Yeah.
like remember when
it was the heteromorphs,
remember when
Yeah.
they showed their thing
bro. I was like, yo, just stop.
in the manga, you were like at one point you're kind of like, yo, like it's nice that they're like addressing this.
Yeah.
But we were like, oh, like address this sooner. Like, why are you addressing this like mid-war when like all this shit's going down? Like, you just like you had the action out of 100, and then you just show us this,
Yeah,
and now you dialed it back down.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, right?
I think it was after that when it started going downhill. No.
Yeah, I mean, like that was like I think that was like a pretty key point there. But like in the anime, like when with the stuff happening, it's not as bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't take up as much time. So
And the animation's crazy too, right? It's
yeah,
crazy.
like the animation's been looking nice,
Yeah.
and
Music's been going hard.
yeah, I don't remember. I actually don't know if the music's going hard. Yeah. Rings of Power, guys.
Yeah, it's everybody's hating it.
Okay, so
I'm still like I think
So here's
it
what's
was a
happening.
couple of
So
YouTubers
here's-
that
so
you were
here's what's
talking about
happening.
too when we first talked about
So
Rings of Power.
so Galadriel
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't let him know.
kisses Elrond, or other way around. Elrond kisses her.
How dare he?
Well, literally that's what it is.
Oh, shut up.
Okay, because listen, in the lore, and like by the time Lord of the Rings happens,
Right.
Galadriel marries like some other elf,
Mm-hmm.
and what is his name, Celeborn, something like that. His
Celeborn
kid,
or so-
their
whatever.
kid, is the person that like Elrond marries, their
Oh,
daughter. They
what
have a
the
daughter,
fuck?
and Elrond marries their daughter.
That's so weird.
I don't know the time frame for when they get married and whatnot.
Yeah.
But when Elrond and the daughter get married, it's sometime in the third age.
Okay.
So we're like somewhere in like the second age right now in
Yeah.
terms of the story. But so people are like, yo, this guy just like kissed his mother-in-law, but it's like,
She not even. His
but they're
daughter?
not even there yet. Like it's like they're like in the story.
It's more weird later on.
It's weird later on,
Yeah.
but like they like because they're like they have a friendship now, so they kiss. So it's like right now it doesn't matter because like there's nothing weird about it. It's just later on now it's like, oh fuck, like he ends up marrying her daughter. But then I was like thinking about it, like
elves. Live.
they're like elves live so long that it's like, how do you know like they only have like one mate or something? Like who knows? So it's like it's not like incest, but people are calling it incest and like whatever. Like people are going off. They're like, yo, these guys perverted like Tolkien's work, like they did this and that. And like I get like they probably shouldn't have done that, but like in the context of what's happening, Galadriel's like borderline about to die, and like Elrond kind of like gives her the kiss, being like thinking that like, you know, like GG, like
Like you're dead.
like I might not see you again.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like
He's like, let me just slide in real quick.
Yeah.
it's more like more like a farewell kiss. You know what I mean?
On the lips.
It's on the lips. Yeah.
Just give her a hug.
It should have been on the
You
forehead.
explained to me what farewell kiss be on the lip.
Yeah.
Let me-
It should be a hug, bro.
You don't give me a kiss on the lips when you say
It's not
goodbye.
farewell. It's not farewell. It's,
Well, we should always.
it's a see you soon.
Well, then, like, at least like give me something. Like, what the fuck?
Anyways, the episode other than that though, like it's a fucking large scale war, and you have Celebrimbor making the 9 rings for the men, and like you just kind of have him like kind of like warping in and out of this illusion that like Sauron put him in, because he's realizing like while he's been working on these rings that like the whole setting around him is an illusion, because he's seeing like this mouse keeps going across the floor and it keeps repeating every hour or something.
Yeah.
And then he's seeing like he put a mark on like a candle, and like the candle isn't even burning.
Mm-hmm.
The mark is still there, so he's like he realizes shit's getting fucked, like shit's alright.
Yeah.
And then the thing is though, like, because while he's been in this illusion, Sauron's been painting the picture that like this guy went batshit crazy. So then when he tries to like tell people about Sauron, nobody believes him. And then like there's this moment where like he's like, you guys have to believe me, and he like puts his hand on like this girl, like just like on like kind of like trying to like get your hand off me type, or like just like whatever, right? But then like when he does that, at the same time like Sauron just goes like this, and she just falls over. Like they're on like this high castle wall. She falls over and just falls straight down, just like. And then there's all these orcs around her, and they just fucking like just kill her. And then now everyone's like, "Yeah, you're fucking off the rocker, dude. Like, we
You're
don't
off
trust
the
you."
rails, buddy.
Yeah.
You're off the rails.
But then like Sauron's kind of like, yo, like if you want me to like leave your city alone, finish the rings, and then I'll leave you alone. So then he like shackles him. This guy's working on all the rings.
Jump him.
Jump who?
Sauron.
No, Sauron. He's gonna jump. Like Celebrimbor's gonna jump Sauron.
Yeah, get
By
people. He only needs like 4.
The thing is,
dudes to jump him.
the thing is, like he's
like the first episode.
well, he tries to, he tries to, but like everyone's kind of like they're like, yo, Sauron's our leader now, because he's kind of been like helping everyone.
What happened
Well,
to Adar?
So Adar's that he's with all the orcs. They're the ones launching this whole war. So you have like this scene of like Adar brings like all these fucking catapults. They just fucking hit this shit at like a mountain. Mountain kind of drops down. It blocks up a dam or like a river. Dams it up, and then now they have like a way into the city.
Yeah.
So now you have like you just see like this scene of like thousands of orcs just fucking like running at the wall, and like all these elves are just trying to fucking like blow
for
them down and get them down.
Narnia,
Yo,
and for Aslan.
Yo, you know it looks sick, dude.
Where are the dragons, bro?
Could not tell you, man.
He doesn't know.
Could not tell you, dog.
Down.
There should be dragons.
There should.
There should be dragons.
There should be.
House of Dragons. They took all the dragon budget.
Yeah, No, but I mean, I don't think they ever. I don't know if dragons were never like part of like the world like that.
Well, I mean, what was it, Smog?
Yeah,
He was in
but
the
but what I
Hobbit,
mean
so
is
Smog should have been around now.
what
No?
what I mean is like dragons are like their own like they're not concerned with like
They're just vibing out.
what the men do like what the
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. But
So
it's
like
just,
unless the story like revolves around like
like,
dragons doing
couldn't
some
he just,
shit,
what if he like decked a mountain that a dragon was sleeping in?
potentially. Like the thing is like they've been teasing this Balrog from like the beginning with the trailers and shit,
Oh yeah,
and we
They
haven't
have been.
seen it yet.
They have been, yeah.
Like we
But that's
saw
not a dragon.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's like a cool epic thing to see either way.
Yeah,
Like dragons are fucking cool to see.
yeah.
But yeah, like this Balrog fucking they show it in like the fire pit a little bit,
Yeah.
and you're like don't like I'm sitting here like don't tell me that's all we get, cause I
No,
don't.
no, in the trailer we've been seeing way more than that.
It looked like it was like we're about to lead to a point where like they might have to fight this thing.
Yeah.
So I think next episode might be the last episode. Like we'll see.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So like I don't I'm assuming because like usually it's 8 episodes. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if they plan to go longer, but they already like renewed the shit for a 3rd season,
Mhm.
and like yeah, I'm surprised like people are just losing their shit like so heavy. But in this episode, it looked like you know like the Black Elf.
Yeah.
It looked like he's dead.
Oh.
Damn, they listened to the fans. They got rid of him finally.
I'm not 100p, but like the way it seemed like Adar killed him.
Yeah.
So maybe he's dead, maybe he's not. Who knows?
They wrote it into the script after everybody was like, "Well, we
Yeah.
can't have black."
Because Adar like he wanted one of the rings of powers,
Yeah.
and like that's
Oh.
and this is the whole point of like Elrond kissing like Galadriel's because like he was trying to force Elrond's hand to like give up a ring of power, and he's like, nah, I can't do that for you, Galadriel. I'm sorry, dog. Like nah.
So he just gave her a kiss on the
Yeah.
lips.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll give you this instead.
No, but
Mwah!
no, but the kiss was also concealed. Like he had like this pin on him. It was to conceal it, and he gave it to her so she could undo her shackles and stuff. So it was like it was like performative. Yeah.
You give her a kiss on the cheek then.
I
Mwah!
don't know.
Here's
Yeah.
the pin.
Yeah.
That way he could also
Yeah.
like whisper in her ear, "Here, take my pin."
But they show a lot of like, you know, like the precious, like that, like whole the way people feel about like like the
ring.
One Ring.
Yeah.
They kind of like go into that with like the way the rings, like the other rings, are corrupting these people, and like just the overall feel, like because Galadriel ends up meeting Celebrimbor at one point, and they kind of like stop like shit happening on the city, and they're kind of just like both like kind of like reminiscing like, yo man, like when Sauron was penetrated in my mind, like
Yo,
yeah.
yo, he thought you were gonna say something else.
no.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. They're kind of having this conversation of like, yo, like when Sauron, like he makes you feel like you know like you get attached to something, and like it's like something so precious and like whatever. Like he has a way of making you feel this way,
Right.
and they're both kind of just like going back and like, you know. Yeah. It's
Yo,
not like in that. It's
yo,
not like in a buddy way,
I
but it's like
looked over-
it's in like a trauma way.
Yo,
You know?
I looked over. Jotrick saw a ghost.
Yeah.
This yo, his eyes were so wide open. He was like,
We'll see
"What
how
the
it
fuck?" Yo,
yeah,
you about to
like-
say what I think you're about to say?
But like, so it's like it's those interactions that are like really cool, because this is like realistically like this whole season the focus is Sauron. It's the
Yeah,
focus
yeah.
is like seeing that development of him, and he even brings up because Celebrimbor finds out that, oh shit, like, you know, like this guy Sauron.
Mm-hmm.
He has this whole conversation, and they kind of bring up how like Morgoth like created all this chaos, and he's like, I'm creating peace. These rings are meant to create peace, and it's like he's like, it's like man-made. Like he's kind of like really like force peace. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like, you know, like peacemaking, not peacekeeping. Like it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but they make the rings and they kind of like run away. So Sauron shouldn't have access to them for like however long. We'll see how the showrunners do it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the way this whole like one season, it kind of like speed ran the rings. Like the end of last season, they made the elven ones,
Yeah.
but like this kind of picks up like right after, right? So like then you have the dwarf ones made in like episode 3 or 4, and now you have like the human or the ones for men done now on episode 7.
Mhm.
So it's like these rings got made so fast, like one after another. And I know they had to like condense the timeline, but like the way you have the rings play out, you
Yeah.
need to like give like each of them like their time, because like
When When is that movie coming out? That animated movie?
The War of the Rohirrim.
the end of
That's
this
on
year?
that's on Christmas.
And
this
that's
year.
like way before all this.
No, that takes place like 200 years before the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
And that's in after this or
Yeah.
After this.
After
So it's in
this?
the middle of
It,
the
it's
two.
it's like so
Oh.
Lord of the Rings at the end of the Third Age.
yeah.
Hobbit takes place like roughly like 80 to 100 years before Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
and this takes place roughly like 100 years before the Hobbit,
So and this what we're watching right now takes place how many years
like
before
fucking thousands of years before.
The Hobbit?
Yeah, because the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings is at the end of the Third Age.
Yeah.
Because when Lord of the Rings ends, that's ushering in like the Fourth Age,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like the kingdom of men, like regular civilization, like what we
Mhm.
do now, like whatever.
Yeah.
That's what that's supposed to usher in. So then like Second Age is like before that even happens. Like beginning of the Third Age is the beginning of, like, you know how in like Lord of the Rings they have that little movie or that little section where they cut off Sauron's hand
Yeah,
and then like the ring floats, and that's the beginning of the Third Age when that happens. And we're at the beginning of the Second Age. Even if they like
Okay.
even if they condense it all and they show us all of the Second Age, and it like leads up to like where Sauron gets his hand cut off, like I'm fucking down. Like that's gonna be sick.
So are we gonna see dragons in this movie?
I don't know, man. I cannot tell you. dude.
Yo, there's a TV show.
I hope yeah. Like
One
if you want
sec, yo,
dragons,
there's
watch
a
House of
TV show. I
Dragons,
think
dog.
I
No,
think
just wanna
you've heard of
I
it.
just wanna see cool shit.
It's called House of
Yeah, I
Dragons.
just wanna see cool shit.
You might see some.
Those aren't even dragons.
No, dragons are beasts though. Like the way they
The
beat.
dragons in House of Dragons aren't even dragons.
No. Okay. No. What?
What
Are
do
they
you want?
not?
No.
What are they?
They're fucking wyverns, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dumbass.
I didn't
Get
watch
your
it.
Dragon Lord
That's
right,
you,
bro.
dog.
Yo, I was on his side the whole time, bro.
you're
What the fuck are you
big.
talking about, yo?
That's crazy. No, but I think it's hard to work in dragons for Lord of the Rings just because the way Smaug was.
Yeah.
How are they supposed to beat this dude? The only way
Is he the only one? Like, is there more?
at the point of
Like,
Smaug,
you
he was like the only one,
know? Yeah.
and the only way they beat him is by like freaking like drowning him in gold and then like having it harden around him. And even that wasn't even like enough to fuck him up. Then they had these harpoons that were like specifically made to like fuck up dragons, and then they're like murking his wings out and shit with that.
Right, but what happened to all the dragons? Like, what does he eat?
They
What do
just-
do?
I don't know.
They
It
just
died
kinda, like,
off, bro.
I
They
think
got
If they're
killed.
so, if
I
they're
think
so
the way-
east,
hunted.
right? It's kind of like I'm not saying have them like be directly involved in whatever's going on, but like let's say there's a war happening and dragon flies by, he's like, yeah, fuck all you guys, and just burns everyone.
I think they all kind of like.
You know?
I think they like. It's kind of like they live in their own caves and they kind of just like live to themselves, because they don't really have like. They're not really into shit. Smaug was just like the only reason he was so related into it is because like he loved gold and he was all greedy and shit with the gold,
Yeah.
and he started like
but they're all
stealing
sentient
gold.
and they all talk, so it's kind of like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I could tell you more next time. I'll do some research.
Mhm.
I lack.
We'll have a
sorry.
dragon debrief.
Yeah, yeah. I'll make sure that you like it's cool enough for you to watch it or
I-
something. Yeah. I mean, like I'm down for whatever season 3 brings, but I think they need to like, if they're gonna show us how like the men got corrupted with these 9 rings and stuff. It seems like that's like more of like a, like more towards the end of the Second Age, Third Age type of thing, especially like, and like when you think about like these kings that like wore these rings,
Mhm.
that's a story you have to go into of like how, what was their progression of why they, like how the rings got to them, and like I'm kind of curious of like the way they like do their kingdoms and stuff, because like we get so much of that in Lord of the Rings where you
Mhm.
like they showed you 2 different kingdoms and how like their kings ran it, that like I'm down to see like what these 9 were like.
Yeah.
So and like they have like they can do that shit within the story, but it's like I don't know if it's like something that'll keep fans interested or not, because right now it's like Sauron's whole journey is what people care about.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it'll be like each season will be dedicated to like certain kingdoms and stuff, and it's like Sauron, like he's gonna be presenting these gifts like, okay, take this ring, it'll make you strong. Other than that, Penguin episode 2, that show is nice. I think I'm kind of seeing an issue with like the just the way it's filmed a little bit. It like overall the episode was like really clean, and I like it was nice, everything's solid, like acting, like the what is it, Kristen Milioti.
I forgot her
I forgot her name, Sophia Falcone.
Yeah.
And then you have Penguin, like everything's like pretty solid, and the way that it's going down is so sick, just with like, because Sophia actually like they start to show you like her like psychosis,
Yeah.
and she's actually really not like, she doesn't know what the fuck's happening sometimes, and like it's so nice because like in this episode the shit that like Penguin's doing, he's like falling into shit and he's trying to cover shit up.
Mm-hmm.
And then like at the end of the episode, she basically like she gets into like business with him. Because you know in the first episode
Yeah.
they were trying to do that new drug thing or whatever they're on.
Yep.
He basically finds like throughout the course of this episode, he finds a way to pin her brother's murder on somebody else, and then it just works out. And because like he did some shit, and then she brings in some information like, dude, like I fucking met up with my brother, and like these are all these diamonds that we were starting because like we're supposed to get this business going.
Yeah.
And then he's just, you kind of just see him and he's like, word. Like he's like, see, like I knew it, because he's like whole time he's like pitching this idea to Sofia Falcone, like, yo, me and your brother were like, this is the whole idea we had and this is what we're going for.
Yeah.
And she's like on board because she's like also like, yo, the same thing me and my brother were doing, right?
Yeah.
So then she like starts to believe him, but and you kind of like, I feel like dude, just the way that she like dude, her presence on screen is insane. Like I really fuck with it. But like that scene, for example, like that scene where you have her and you have Penguin talking,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have everything else like blurred out, and it to me it just felt really like green screeny. Like it really did feel like
Yeah, that's what I was talking about last
yeah,
pod, where like they're trying to emulate, but like you can definitely tell it's not
living.
the same.
Yeah, it's not. And like they had a shot where they had them together, and the background was a little bit more in focus,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked better that way. I don't know why they had to like blur it out the way they blurred it out, because they were doing like a close up like just your face,
Yeah.
and then they blurred out the background. But then when they did that, I was like, nah, this just feels like
it's the
yeah,
emulation, right?
Yeah. Other than that, it's fucking sick though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pumped for it. And then just that news that we saw for Batman Part 2,
Yeah.
like potentially, like what do you think the odds are that Part 2 starts with Batman killing Penguin? Or not killing? No, sorry, not killing.
What?
Sorry, not killing. Not killing. Not
Yo,
killing. Beating the shit-
Snyderverse?
No, sorry. I didn't even say killing. I meant like just like starting a fight with him and just like beating the shit out of him and like being done with his arc there. Like just kind of like, you know what I mean?
No.
You think Penguin's present till like Part 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they invested like
I
a
was just
TV show
curious.
into him,
Yeah.
then it's like he's probably gonna be like a background character.
Yeah.
I think so.
Entire
That's
thing.
what I thought. But also like it also brings up like what if this season kind of fleshes out that character really well, and then in Part 2 they like do away with him.
No.
No, I think
Okay.
it'd be like he'd be like I guess reoccurring character.
It's better to keep him in.
Like he's not gonna be the
I
main
got-
villain. He's
Yeah.
gonna be like a side dude.
Something that's
that Batman would beat up and be like, "Yo, where's
Give me
the
this
dude?"
information
Yeah.
because you're running the
Yeah,
underworld.
yeah,
Like, what are
yeah.
you doing?
Exactly,
Tell me your
exactly.
shit.
That's fair. That's fair.
Exactly.
I just saw it on Twitter because like this guy was just talking about how like Part 1 started off
Mhm.
with like the Riddler thing. So like he was just saying how like Part 2 might start off with Penguin, and then he's gonna
Mhm.
like beat the shit out of him to like figure shit out.
Do we have any
and-
news on like who the villain is? Part 2,
No.
Mr. Freeze.
So
No.
James Gunn kind of like said nah,
Yeah,
like
he said-
there's no Mr. Freeze shit happening really.
Well, there was like that movie that people were talking about. That
Yeah.
There's gonna be like this movie that comes out. It's gonna be called Freeze. It's gonna be in the Batman verse or something.
Yeah, and then he
But
kind
then
of said
James
like
Gunn
nah.
said that's not happening.
Yeah.
So
But there was like Matt Reeves had like an interview and he was just talking about like I guess like his like what inspired like his take on Joker,
Yeah.
and then what
Oh,
else
yeah.
did he talk about?
Joker 2's coming out.
Yeah, that's coming this week.
Yeah, yeah.
This week.
This Friday, this Thursday.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else did he talk about?
he talked about a lot of shit.
Did you read or watch the whole
I
thing?
didn't watch the whole thing. I
Okay,
just
I
I
just
saw
saw- I
like
just saw the
so many
clips.
different quotes coming
Yeah.
out. So like he was talking about a lot of things.
Yeah. It's in good hands. That's all we can
Yeah.
say. Like the way it's progressing, it actually does look really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No.
No.
What the One Piece episode? Did you guys watch it?
No.
It's like Part 2 of Sabo running away.
Took him 2 episodes to release.
Well, like, cause remember how like the tail thing happened?
Yeah.
That was at the end of last episode.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I mean, like it was kind of like
Okay. Yeah.
second half of the episode or something, right? In this episode, it was like it's just Wapple. He joins in, and it's like showing him and Vivi running away, and then like they end up going on a ship. While they're on the ship, he calls Morgan and he's like, "Yo, I got a scoop for you, but I can't give it to you over the phone. I have to you gotta pick me up."
Yeah.
And then, but it starts to show you a little bit of context of Sabo running away because
Mhm.
this guy's bloodied the fuck up, like, and he's running away, and you have these holy knights running after him. He's in the forest
It's Holy Knights.
Not Holy Knights. The guards. The guard knight. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The guards. The guards with like the pointy helmets and shit.
Aight, man.
So like
He's
it's
gassing up, Sabo.
I'm sorry.
Like crazy. He's like, yo, the Holy
Yeah, the
Knights.
Holy Knights were chasing
The
this
guard-
guy,
the
bro.
guard knights, the guards.
Garling was there.
No,
yo.
sorry.
He dodged Garling's attack. He was
Yeah.
speed
This
beats
This
right
was like
there.
this was last week's episode though. Like we just never watched it. Remember, like we talked about it. We never
Yeah.
like we saw the clip of like showing them revealing Garling. It's that episode that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because the episode that they're doing like that came out this
Yesterday?
last weekend.
Yeah.
Or 2 days ago.
Yeah, that it's more like a recap, like
Yeah,
filler type
'cause
of episode.
They're saying.
So like something with like Marines and shit. I don't know what it was.
Right.
But anyways, so that episode though, the Garling one.
Mm-hmm.
The guards are just kind of running after Sabo. Sabo just murks out one of them, takes his armor, hides underneath like the hull of the ship going to Leloucha,
Yeah.
and then he tells like Dragon how he like did the whole thing, but then he talks about how like there was this like the shadow looming over it, and then it shows you like how it's just a bunch of fucking beams, just like it's like you have this full landscape shot of like through the town
Yeah.
or like what the city, and you just see like beam, and then the whole thing's just fucking beamed out,
So
right?
it shows,
Beamed out,
Yeah,
yeah.
just beamed
Yo,
out.
beamed out.
Yeah.
It shows Sabo's,
What?
what the fuck's the word?
His gangsta shit.
No, what's the word? Him being an accomplice in the genocide of a whole island.
Yeah, like well, so because he talks about it, he's like, yo, like we were like stationed there,
Yeah.
and then because he like routed the shit through Leloucha, that's why like they're probably after like that way. But he was saying that like a bunch of people there were like kind of like ready to join like our army, so they took like a chunk of them with them,
Oh.
and then when he made the call is when like it just got nuked. So then
wait, so you see, like, because remember in the manga, it was very like ambiguous of whether Sabo got hit
Yeah.
with it or not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the anime, it's very clear cut.
Yeah.
that you see
So
that he
yeah.
doesn't.
So he's like
that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
so yeah. So it's like it shows you like him on the dock.
Ah.
And he's like, and everyone's just like patting him on the back, like, yeah, because like they at this point they hear the news of him killing Cobra and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're kind of just like happy that he's like the, like kind of like saying like fuck you to the government type of shit,
Yeah.
and then like so they're all just patting him on the back and whatever, and then when he wants to dip, like he just takes like probably like maybe like 80, 100 people, whatever, with him, whoever fits on the boat, whatever, and then all of them see how like their families just got nuked. So then it's obviously gonna like now they're gonna be more like down for the cause.
Right.
And
But,
then-
in the manga, it was done better
Yeah,
because it got like the last chat, like
The way it ended.
was like, yo, is Sabo dead? Is he not dead?
the difference is though is that like he's obviously alive because he's telling Dragon this. Like this is his retelling.
Right, but
of
we
the
never.
When we thought Sabo died, that was like the initial thing when Lucia first got nuked.
Yeah.
This is him retelling the events, right? This isn't like we know Sabo's alive because he's with Dragon guys right now.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so
Right?
so then let me backtrack. When did you watch the episode when Lucia first gets nuked? Does it show that Sabo almost died or no?
That was a while ago, so I don't remember.
Okay,
But like,
all right, fair.
yeah, so I can't really. That's what I'm saying. Like for this, because it's a retelling,
Yeah,
you know he's not gonna be
No, of
dead,
course.
right? So that's why it's like that. But then you have emu guys talking about like, like we should test this weapon out that Vegapunk made, like
Mhm.
like test the mother flame.
Yeah,
So it kind of just like goes into, like Vegapunk had to create this mother flame for them to use it. Like they like, because even like Dragon guys are like, yo, if these guys had this weapon, why are they using it now?
mm-hmm.
Right? And then like from Emu side, they're like, if we're gonna like, we need to test this weapon out to see if it works, and if it does, we'll figure out what to do with Egghead.
right.
Yeah. So like, I feel like that was kind of like those are conversations, like dialogue that we didn't get in the manga, and just like the way that
we did get the mother flame dialogue. I remember talking about that.
we did, but like, I think like it's just the way that like the anime portrayed it.
Yeah,
I think that was really cool because like having Dragon ask like, why did they wait till now and like stuff like.
yeah.
It's hard. I can't remember if they did it in the manga now. That's the thing. But like I feel like he wasn't asking like the right questions and stuff because
Right.
I feel like a lot of that conversation was like Ivankov talking because Ivankov drops how like Neurono Emu is like one of the first 20 original people.
Lily, no.
No, Emu too.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
Like
okay, okay.
he's like saying like yo
Yeah.
like I don't know if it's the same guy, but like yo that was one of the first original like.
Yeah.
And then he was saying how like like there was that like there's ways to make people immortal. What if that happened?
Mm-hmm.
So then he's like kind of like like ooh. Yeah, like is it him? Who knows? Yeah. And also, yeah. I mean, like we do with that fucking like the context with the Wapple and Morgan thing.
Yeah.
Like how he
That's
just
true.
ended up on Morgan's ship so
That's
randomly.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, yeah, I think that's all. I don't know if you guys have anything else.
No.
I mean,
You guys been done.
we could talk about Bleach, but I don't know if you guys are down for that conversation.
I'd be down to do it next week.
Okay, yeah, I think that's it then.
We'll talk about it next week. I think.
Go in our comments. Let us know what you guys thought about the Jujutsu Kaisen finale. If you guys watched Transformers 1, and
You better watch it.
go watch it again. Help Jagad carry it for another 50 mil.
I better have comments from all of our subscribers that like we watched Transformers 1.
Let us know what you guys thought about anything
I'll love
else
you
we
that
talked
much
about.
more.
What manga should we check out next? What should we pick
Yeah.
up
What
since
do we
JJK is
replace?
done? Yeah, what are we replacing it with? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications. Go in our description. We have our TikTok and our Twitter, Instagram coming never. And thank you guys for watching. Peace.